Alice in Borderland does not unalive enough people. Okay, so before we start the video, let us address the background change. I am indeed at college right now, and so that's why I haven't posted in a while, but I am back. Anywho, so today we're going to be talking about how Alice in Borderland does not really cut off enough characters. Like I'm really excited for season 3, even though I'm like a little bit skeptical since I really thought the story wrapped up nicely in season 2. But okay, I'm still excited for season 3. So I was watching season 1 and 2, and while rewatching, I noticed a little thing. Like every single character, like main character, has a little too much of plot armor, okay? Like a little too much. Like I cannot stress enough how some of these people should not have survived, okay? Like please. Okay, so let's start the list from the person I think is fair enough that this person survived to the person that I think should, like, bro is like god for him to be surviving right now. Okay, so we're gonna start with Aritsu, the main character. I'm like, again, it's like obviously some TV shows and movies really go with like the artistic ending and whatnot, and they kill off like the, like, not even like the lead or like the second main, like the main character. But Alice in Borderland does not do that because, like, the story really wouldn't move forward. No, if you don't have a main character to root for, then how are you gonna take it forward? So I do think it's fair enough that Aritsu had a plot, like plot armor, and Aritsu used his like little brain, and also he got incredibly lucky in some instances, and he had other people by his side. He wasn't in very, like, obviously he was in life threatening situations, but compared to some of the other people on these lists, he was never really that badly injured ever. Okay, so number two is kind of like a three people are on the same tier. So number 2 is Usagi, Chishia, and Kuina. I think all of them were badly injured in the last episode, but I do think that it was realistic that they survived. Chishia and Kuina were a little more badly injured than Usagi, but I do I can stretch my beliefs a little bit to be like, okay, maybe the conditions were right, because if you don't know, Usagi gets stabbed in her leg, which again is pretty far from any of her vital organs. So I'm like, you know what, yeah, she survived. And even the game that she went on to play with this like broken leg wasn't like that intense, did not require that much physical power or anything like that. So I believe it. Okay, now that I think about it, I don't think Kuina should have survived that. Okay, so Kuina gets shanked, stabbed, whatever you want to call it, multiple times in the King of Spades game, and she survives. Not only does she survives, but she's in a better condition than Anne, who also suffers multiple stab wounds, but like not as many as Kuina. And so Kuina is even able to speak that she doesn't want to go, like, she doesn't want to stay in the borderland, she wants to go back to the real world and whatnot. So like, hello, I mean, I know Kuina is a baddie, but like, girl, how are you alive? Speaking of Anne fully dies. Anne fully dies, and I to this day don't know how she made it back to the real world, because she fully died in the King of Spades. Like, she was like dead. She was like not answering, she was just like sleeping. She was dead, okay, and she couldn't even answer when they asked if you want to stay in the borderland, become a citizen, or you want to go back. She couldn't even answer, okay? Like, how did they why did this, she didn't answer. How did they send her back? Like, dude, it was in, like, Anne was fully dead, yet she went back. So I'm like, how? Next we have Chishia. So Chishia stays uninjured up and like throughout the first whole season, and throughout the second season up until, I'm pretty sure, the last episode, okay? Because Chishia is like the witty character, the super genius, so he stays clear and uninjured and nonchalant king throughout the 2 whole seasons. But then in the last episode, Niragi shoots him like twice, I believe, okay? I'm pretty sure both of the wounds were to his abdomen, and hello, vital organs present. So I'm a little skeptical of how he survived. Like, wow, Niragi must really be shooting with such precision to avoid all the vital. I think he even says you avoided the vital organs. Why? Like, dude, how? First of all, how do you know? First of all, how do you know? Okay, and it's like, second of all, dude, I know that obviously you have more chances of surviving if your vital organ does not get hit, but still my brother got shot twice and was like just laying there for like, I don't even know, hours and hours. Like, dude, how did he not bleed out and die? I don't want to talk about some good not good deaths, I mean not good ones, but like the ones that like had an impact and made sense. Okay, so obviously Aritsu came in as like a trio, right, with Karube and Chota. So they were his best friends, okay, in real life also and also in the games. So they were his best friends. They were all really close, little friend group. And of course they get put in a hearts game, and in a hearts game you have to betray each other. So ultimately they had to betray each other to win. And so Aritsu won, so obviously everyone else got. But this happens in, I think, episode 4 of season 1, and that really left an impact, because we had enough kind of time to really feel bad for like Aritsu, and really feel bad that, oh my god, these characters that we like connected with so much died, but it also kind of set up Aritsu's character, because he had this immense survivor's guilt, and like the guilt of like technically betraying his best friends and all that. So he carried that with him, and it shaped like his character arc throughout the first season and also the second season. So that death, like those deaths were like extremely important, and I think those were done really, really well. Okay, so next on this list is Niragi. Okay, Niragi, first of all, I absolutely hate him. He had no right surviving till the end. Absolutely none. I was just waiting for that bitch to die the whole time. Okay, I was like, when's this dude gonna die? And he didn't. Okay, so basically Chishya throws a makeshift flamethrower at him, which burns him and his body, and then he free falls from a building into a pool. Okay, so which does put out the fire, but he still gets severe burns. He then gets blown into, like, pushed into a fiery, I don't know, like fiery fire, completely real word, but he gets pushed into fire once again by Aguni. So just really, really severe burns. How getting burnt alive is one of the most painful ways to die and all. So just keeping that in mind about his like pain level and all. This guy, right, he shows up in season 2, okay, again to play some damn game, and we can see him struggling. Like, we can see him like I don't know, like he, like, blood's like falling out. It's kind of disgusting, but we can see like he's really, really badly injured. Okay, and guess what, still alive, still breathing. So he's been like walking with these burns for I don't know how many days and weeks at this point. Okay, he's been injured, he's been like, I'm so gonna die. Then he gets shot by Aritsu. Okay, on top of all of the injuries that he sustained, he gets shot by Aritsu, and he still survives like for few more hours and is still able to answer, being like, I don't want to be a citizen, I want to go back. No, die. Oh my god. I hope this video doesn't get taken down because I'm saying die so many times, but like, no, you have to know that Niragi is first of all a fictional character, and second of all a really, really bad one. So like, dude, like this kind of really shows that, I don't know why, but I guess the writers are just like super scared to kill off like the main characters. Like, they did so well with like Chota and Karube, but I don't know, it's just like most of, like, if not all, except for like Hatter, I guess, and also Tata, if we ignore those two, literally everyone else makes it to like the finale and back to the real world and alive and well, literally every single one. And it's like, Niragi was like free bait. People don't even, at least I hope, people don't even like Niragi because he's such a bad person. So killing him off would have really would have given them praise. So I really don't know why they didn't kill off his character. They're just so scared. This is side note, this is where I don't like the Alice in Borderland and Squid Game comparison, but I'd have to say, when it comes to character deaths, I think Squid Game does it so well. because season 1 literally had me bawling and crying and sobbing, and like literally like no character, literally not a single character in that, maybe except for the Dora the Explorer guy, not a single person there has a plot armor. Everyone and anyone can die and will die at any point, and that's what makes it so like you're on your toes the whole point. You're like, oh my god, is my favorite character gonna die? That would be so sad. And that's what makes it interesting to watch, right? Character deaths are sad, and that's how you connect on an emotional level with the audience. But if you don't ever kill anyone, then it's like, hello. Then we have this girl named Heya, who is like, I guess, Aguni's sidekick. I don't know what else to call her. I guess she's his sidekick. But so she suffers, like her leg gets literally amputated in the first game she plays. Okay, and she's like badly injured, so she's like an amputee throughout the whole game. And then in the King of Spades game, when I say she's practically dead, I mean she is practically dead. She gets stabbed so many times. It's like, she's dead. She's dead. I don't know how she's dead. She's gone. She's a goner. I don't know how she's alive. Okay, she is dead. She is practically dead. Okay, like, dude, not to offend anyone, but I liked Heya's character, but she was introduced fairly later into the second season, and it wasn't like it was like not as heartbreaking. For example, if Anne or Kuina died, like nearly died, that was heartbreaking. I was like praying, I was like, no, not Kuina, not Anne. But Heya was like, okay, she almost died. And I was like, when she died, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of sad. But then she survived, and I was like, I literally don't give a shit, like again, no offense to any Heya fans out there, but her character was just introduced too late for me to make any emotional connection with her. And now comes the character with the most plot armor, okay, with who is actually invincible, okay. He was said to be in the military. Like, I don't know what they're feeding him in the military, but he is actually invincible. So this guy, Aguni, right? He's like this morally grey character in Alice in Borderland, which I think a lot of people like, including myself. So he is the one who, spoiler alert, I mean, if you watch the video up until this point, I'm pretty sure you've been spoiled, but spoiler alert, he kills Hatter. So which is like, Hatter just takes one bullet to die, but not Aguni. Aguni will not die. You could Aguni will not die, okay. Aguni gets shot multiple in the abdomen, in all the vital organ areas and whatnot, multiple times during the beach game episode, okay, like the finale of season 1. Multiple times by Niragi, straight. He's just he's taking all the bullets to sacrifice himself or something. I don't know. Okay, he gets shot multiple times. Somehow, with no medical treatment, okay, he somehow survives. He then later reunites with Aritsu in the woods, where he gets shot again. Isn't that fun? Just like, hello, have we, I know that this is a fictional story, but it's really fictional, like everyone who loses the games and all dies because a laser they should all be alive by Aguni's logic right now, okay. The way Aguni's surviving, even if he got the laser treatment, he would not have died probably, okay. So I'm not even done. So after that, he also jumps off of a department store, first floor, by throwing an explosion with Aritsu. But I'm like, okay, in normal circumstances, I would be like, he's a military man, he's strong, he probably survived a 1 floor fall, who cares? But with his injuries, dude. And then the best of all, this man survived a bullet to his head. This whole time they were all like, if you don't hit the vital organs, you will survive. I'm sorry, is brain not a vital organ anymore? Did he not have a brain? That's kind of funny. Sorry. But hello? So, I'm just gonna completely ignore so many characters died from such measles injuries, but bro gets shot in the head and he's still hello? And killing him off would have made a lot of people cry also, because he had a really touching story. So he was the perfect character to be killing off. Dude, um I don't know, like but like how can any person on this earth survive that? And why, like, even from a writing standpoint, killing of Agony is really nice because he's a morally grey character, right? So on one hand people will be like, oh, but he killed so many people, but on the other hand it's like, oh, but he has such a touching story. And so it's like it's like it makes for like nice writing. But why, like, he's just alive, he's just alive. So overall, I do think that the writers need to take more risks, honestly, because I really like the series. Do not get me wrong, it is one of my faves. I really like the series, but I do think that the I hope that the writers like take more risks in the new seasons. I mean, who knows, because in the trailer it looks like Aritsu's, and I'm really excited for season 3. I hope you are as well, and I hope you like this video. Bye bye.